Why is it, though, today that we live in such a secular world, a world that seems separated from God? It's only been like this for the past 200 years or so. In fact, these modern days began really with the French Revolution. We have our own Marie here today with us. Hi, Marie.
Hi.
Your name comes from the French Revolution.
Wow, you're Marie Antoinette, wasn't it?
Yeah, Marie Antoinette, yes. For the last 200 years, this world has kind of thought God doesn't really exist. But that's a new thought in history.
Yeah, there's the term atheism around in the world today.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about the French Revolution and what happened there.
Well, the people in France were completely upset about the division between the rich and the poor.
Okay. Yes.
And being dictated to about their religion.
Okay, so there was two aspects.
Yeah.
First was their economic welfare.
Yes.
And the second, they were told what they had to believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
Yeah. Well, they revolted and went in and killed the king and went to try and overthrow the priests and the church leaders of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, thinking about it, Marie, of course, bears the name of the famous Queen Marie Antoinette. She lost her head at that time.
Yep.
But more important than the king and the queen losing their heads during that great revolutionary time, what was the effect on belief?
Well, they threw God out and chose to believe in nothing.
Okay.
Rather than,
They also did something with time itself, because we're talking about time today.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Well, they decided to try out a 10-day week.
Why was that?
I think because in the Bible it talks about a 7-day week.
Oh, and the priests had talked about a 7-day week, and the Pope said you've got to go to church every Sunday, you've got to do this, that and the other thing.
So they wanted to get rid of it all.
Throw religion out the window, get rid of a Christian Sunday, demolish it forever.
Yeah.
And how many days in their week?
10.
10?
10. So that's kind of strange. I don't know why they picked 10, but...
Okay. Did it work?
Well, no, it didn't last for very long. I'm not sure how long, but it didn't. Yeah.
Okay, now...
They're back to the 7-day week now.
there's a very significant year in the middle of the French Revolution. What is it and why?
Well, 1798, Napoleon sent his general, Alexandre Berthier, into Rome and took the Pope captive. He was prisoner. They took his religious authority away and also his civil ruling power authority and confiscated all his land.
Okay, and that was in the year 1798?
1798, yeah.
Well, Marie, many people are amazed to discover about the year 1798, and we're going to take you there in Amazing Discoveries time. Yes, it's absolutely amazing when you stop to think about it, but the year 1798 was pointed to by a Bible prophecy written almost 500 years before Christ. This is without doubt. This is one of the evidences for why I believe God is above time and he rules the entire planet. What did the prophecy say? Daniel receives a dream. He receives a dream of 4 world empires. The fourth would be the mighty Roman Empire. What would happen is the Roman Empire collapsed. There would not be a 5th empire. Instead, it would divide. It divided into the roughly 10 nations of Europe. And then the prediction of Daniel in Daniel chapter 7 said that there would be a new power arising like phoenix from the ashes of the Roman Empire, the old pagan empire, and that this new power would be centered in the capital city of that old empire. Was there a new power that rose to dominate the planet after the collapse of old Rome that was centered in its center of power, its capital city, if you like? Absolutely there was. It was the Christian church, and the Christian church had its headquarters where the capital city of the Christian power and influence for so long through history was none other than Rome itself. Now, this is not attacking a particular denomination, because in these days the church had not really split. There were no denominations. It was one church, our church, if you like. And the story of Christian history is not pretty. The story of Christian history is how that when Christianity gained power and influence, it wreaked havoc across the world. It controlled the various states of Europe and indeed around the planet, to the Americas and so on and so forth, and it persecuted people who did not acknowledge its power over the state. This lasted for 1,260 years after the collapse of old Rome, until in 1798 the atheistic forces of Napoleon took the Pope prisoner, stripped him of his power over the state, and still today, 200 years later, church and state are still separated and we have a distinction between the two. Now, when the Revolutionary Parliament in France a couple of hundred years ago stripped the power of the state away from the church, one of the first things they did was to alter the 7-day week. Why? They knew the importance of a Christian regular weekly rest when Christians remember God, and they had to remove that in order to change their society. Now, this power of a weekly rest has been largely forgotten about in our society today, and Ben's going to show us in our Life Power segment what reintroducing a weekly rest can do for your life.